Good morning, good evening. You are watching Insight with Praveen Puram, live from Atlanta. Today, our esteemed guest, Dr. Nazeera Dawood. She is the CEO of Vendorship and also host for Chai and Chat. Thank you, Nazeera, for joining us today, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Praveen.
Thank you very much, Nazeera. So, Nazeera is from Atlanta. She is a CEO of Vendorship and she's also a social entrepreneur. She runs a very interesting live chai and just chat session. This brings the community from different flavors and discuss on different topics, which is very useful to the community. She worked in the government organization as well. She worked as a research project manager in Emory University. She's a former chief of staff for the office of chairman, Fulton County Board of Commissioners. She was also instrumental in securing many projects for funding them. And she's a past president for South Asian Public Health Association. And she has received many awards from American Telugu Medical Association for her public service. She also stood for election in her city and won the runoff. She has been a monthly columnist for the Forsyth County News. She believes in galvanizing the energies and empowering all the citizens to collectively improve community health. She can manage to speak, understand Tamil, Telugu, Hindi. More than all, Nazeera is a great community leader. She has been a face of the Indian community to the government of US for many reasons, connecting people, doing the great favors, and also whichever is possible for the community. And Nazeera also helps the community business, small businesses for bidding the projects in government. So today, as a part of this Insight with Praveen Puram, it's all about learning and how to serve the community. We will listen more from Nazeera and learn about her community leadership, political aspects, and also from the Vendorship Inc. Welcome, Nazeera, again. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. And we are very excited to listen from you about many things, how you help the community.
Namaste, namaskaram. Thank you so much, Praveen. Thank you, TV5. Thank you, Mana TV, for this opportunity. So I'm looking forward to this conversation with you, Praveen, and the listeners.
So first of all, we would be very interested to know, how did this young girl from a small town, India, to get to run for the city council in the United States? What is your journey looks like, Nazeera? It is very, very inspiring for all of us.
Sure. Thank you so much, Praveen. That's a great question. Sometimes I ask myself, if you've seen from my journey that I've always sort of pioneered or tried to do things from my own way, or creating the pathway that not many have done in the past. I'm also a risk taker in things that I really believe in, and things that feel is correct, that is going to serve the entire community or the broader community and bringing people together. So my platform throughout my life has been bringing people together, unite them, exchange understandings, so there's less differences and more common ground that people can come together. So when I used to practice as a doctor, as a doctor practicing in India, I used to practice. I did my medical school in Karnataka, so I can speak Kannada as well, Praveen, and went back to Tamil Nadu, which is my home state, and practiced there in Gandhigram Hospital. I realized that people were thinking there's a magic pill. So if you go to doctor, everything will get treated, which is not true. Which is not true, right? And of course, they respect the doctors. They're going to treat, yes, but doctors don't have all the answers. And so I realized the diseases that the patients suffered from, especially in the rural area, can be prevented, right? A lot of it can be prevented. Diabetes can be prevented, heart disease, diabetic complications can be prevented, even stress, everything can be prevented. So I realized the medical system was broken to an extent, the links were broken, and probably educating the community members towards prevention would really help. So my motto then became, how can I prevent someone from going to a doctor, right? So I moved into public health because I wanted to educate the community on a whole, and then or the entirety about prevention, about healthy living, stress-free life, enjoying life at the moment, good sleep. We don't think about good sleep sometimes. We're only talking about good diet, physical exercise. We forget some of the mental well-being. So all these things come into play. And that's when I went ahead and did my master's in public health in US, in University of North Carolina. And then from there, I went into Emory University and got a job at the government sector. So I still call it my dream job in the government sector here, for the reason because we were able to reach the community much more beyond and wide. So my platform has been, you asked me why I ran for city council. There was this, I don't know what you call for butterfly in Telugu, but there was this butterfly feeling inside of me, that burning that I have to fly. None of my family members are in politics, right? I didn't know what politics was. All I knew was people like us have to be at the decision-making table and where decisions are being made, because many a time others are making decisions that doesn't agree with us. So I realized, oh my gosh, we need representation. So that's when I ran for office, not knowing anything about politics, but it also made me a very, very strong person. I came to know who I am really. I came out of the shell of being a little bit timid and shy person. Even from my back college, they'll tell, oh my gosh, Nazeera, you're such a timid girl. And I'm like, life teaches you, experience, you evolve. So it was like cocoon say, you come out as a butterfly. So that's what happened to me when I ran for office, and I became a much stronger person as well.
Wow, that's great to hear, Nazeera. And tell us why, because you being a doctor and coming to the US, you didn't think to pursue on the doctor profession?
So a great question. Sometimes this is for all listeners, and you, Praveen, I'm sure you are a very respected community leader. So you know that sometimes you have to make a decision and you have to move on, right? Culturally, I'm from Tamil Nadu, and in our Indian culture everywhere, we're always worrying. We always keep worrying. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen in the evening? What happened yesterday? So these thoughts just put us always in the back end. We're not able to move forward. So once you make a decision and you move on. So for me, I was torn between two things. Should I go ahead and practice medicine, or do I do what I believe in, that is preventing people from going to a doctor, so prevent chronic diseases, right? I've seen people go blind because of their high blood sugar. I've seen people, go unconscious and legs amputated because of a chronic disease that they had. So that's when I decided I would rather want to go into a public health setting, educate the entire community, create policies, help with laws and regulations, and bring people together. And so that's when one day I made a decision, Praveen. If I'm not motivated, why should I push myself to do it? Because anything you do with passion, money will come. Things will happen if you believe, and your heart, you believe 100%. One day I decided, probably in the 2000, after 2005, I decided, do I want to practice? Am I going to lose all the time that I studied in? Or do I go with my passion? Now that I've gained knowledge as a doctor, I know what pathology, etiology, everything I know now. How do I move forward with the knowledge that I have and build that link? Because it's a broken link between public health and chronic diseases. So how do I connect that link? And I said, okay, I'm going to not practice and I'm going to pursue my passion, right? So till today, people ask me, do you regret you studied all those 5 years? And, I'm like, no, I am here. You're talking to me today because of the decision I made. So I've never gone back and regretted. So that's what I say. In your heart, you go after it. I think, and don't regret and don't go back and worry about it.
That's a great decision and wise decision, Nazeera. Especially, people, if you are selfish and you think about yourself, I would go for the further studies in my doctorate or doing a doctor. But you have chosen to, the broken links where we can fix through the public health. I think that's a great decision. And I feel that you are a born leader. That's why you have chose this, and you are also successful. And I'm great that you have done. I have also seen you have done some work on the diabetes, right? Even in the Georgia. So tell us more about that, what you have found in Georgia and what you have found in India.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So all chronic diseases, so 1 in 7 people are dying because of chronic diseases, diabetes, hypertension, blood pressure, mental ill-being, or heart diseases. As you see, Praveen, in the recent years also, we've seen many young people in 30s and 40s getting massive heart attacks and collapsing. So we're seeing that a lot. I think some of those has to do with the stressful living of worries sometimes, right? And not focusing on healthy eating or physical activity, or over physical activity, and you just there's no moderation. So I always have believed in moderation. When I joined the county government, I was the health promotion division director. So you know what it means. Health promotion division director means I have to be healthy myself first, so I can talk about healthy living and healthy living being. So I had to start exercising. We, in our culture, we were never taught like women had to exercise. Now things have changed, right? So for us after 40s, how do we change a habit behavior? It's very hard. So when I entered into public health, into my government job, Praveen, I realized sectors like Coke factories, like the soda factories, they actually know the secret behind how you can make a person addicted. As the smoking companies, they know how to get you addicted to smoke. The alcoholic beverage companies, but who is rebutting them? So the public health system has to be strong. Public health system has to think about ways of creating, how they create secrets. We also have. So I've read some of the documents. For example, the soda company, I'm not going to just keep naming the soda company, but the soda company has secrets that their marketing people have to have you drink. As a kid, before 7 years, you have to drink and taste it.
Wow.
Before 7 years, this is their secret, because after 7 years, the brain is developed, the kid is developed, it can make a decision. If you taste it before 7 years, you're going to be like, you get onto it. Coke, like how many kids here are drinking water? Not many, right? So they're addicted to Coke. So when they have a secret like that, so should we. And think beyond. Why is water more healthy than soda, right? Why should we not be smoking? Why should we control our addictive behaviors, right? The processed food, everything is convenience, put it in microwave, 2 minutes, everything is processed. Why do you think people get diabetes here more? Of course, in India, because of carbohydrates diet and less physical activity and sedentary life. So that's what led me to taking up this position. I still call it my dream job. I knew my name was written on that job. So the 5 to 7 years that I stayed there, we were able to bring communities together beyond that the county government had never done before. Someone said they came because the government opened the door. So I went in and changed the culture of opening up and working with the community to make some decisions. So we started working with interfaith agencies to create community gardens so they can get fresh vegetables and fruits out of their garden. I remember when at one time when interfaith leaders came, we took them to the Hindu temple of Atlanta. All of them, the Jews, the Islamic, all the other faiths, they all came to the Hindu temple of Atlanta. And so did all of them go into the Zen center, understanding the Buddhist center, how they practice, and the cuisine. They all wanted to know how to make idli and sambar. Everybody's like, just give us the recipe for idli and sambar. These are African Americans and Caucasians who've lived for ages here, but creating that opportunities to exchange information, what is healthy among ourselves, what we can learn from other cultures also helped. So what we did was educate them on healthy living, talk to them about what the marketing secrets that the factories have and how they can rebut it and live healthy. And so we would show them the ill effects of a cigarette. We would talk about third-hand smoke. Oh, we did this, Praveen, you won't believe it. So nowadays you see in city parks, in county parks, You cannot smoke. It wasn't there 5-10 years ago. So public health people like us coming together helped create those policies.
That's great achievement and also great work, Nazeera. Being a woman coming into this kind of job role, where a woman, and because this is purely public interaction, right? So, what was your motivation factor, Nazeera, coming into this job? You will be interacting day in, day out with different communities, and being from an Indian origin and being into the government job. What was your feeling, and what is the motivation factor?
Sure. Thank you so much, Praveen. So first of all, yes, I did grow up in a very conservative family. So my daddy still thinks, was she really born into this family, right? So I did think sometimes opposite of what I was told. I think some of the factors like the gender or the race or, the socioeconomic status is only excuses. It's only an excuse to prevent us from what we can achieve. Once you know it is not an order, you break that barrier, then you can achieve wonders. Because I feel it's like a barrier that's created by maybe for different reasons. We have to cross that barrier. So yes, as women, we've had some challenges from beginning because of women. Oh, I'll tell you. So when I was the first woman profession to graduate as a doctor, first women profession. So you can see the obstacles. My brother said, this is my brother. He said, what are you going to do after studying medicine? You're going to cut onion for your husband in the kitchen. This is exactly what he said many years ago. Before I didn't, it just came and you just throw off in the other ear. I can't fight with him. I heard, but I threw off. It didn't stay in my mind. But you have to realize that if it's your passion, you can pursue, you can continue. It's just an obstacle for others. But if you put it in your mind, then it's going to impact you. You have to go for what you feel is right. Inside your heart and brain, connect your heart and brain and soul. You will know what you want to do, what is going to make you happy, what is going to, along with your responsibility, of course. I'm sure we all have family responsibility. So carrying that, some decisions you have to make. So I feel all these irrelevant, sometimes obstacles is something man-made that can be broken. The barrier you have to break and go. So start even coming out of the medical school as the first professional doctor around my conservative community back in India. My mom never thought it would happen, but taking the medical degree and going to my mom as the first doctor woman in our community, really, she had tears in her eyes. So it's you do it yourself. The answer is within you, Praveen. I think this is for listeners as well. You can always say, I have to ask my dad, I have to ask this person, but the answer is within you. The happiness is within you. Once you love yourself, once you find that answer, the energy is going to align and good things are going to happen. And that's what has been happening to me. But that happened only when I realized the happiness is not outside, it's within ourselves sometimes.
Absolutely right, Nazeera. I think we should listen to us, right? Our inner feelings, what we have to do. And I think you have greatly said that. And I could see that you are more onto the boards of the government organization, right? So I know that many of us come to the United States to work and earn some money and then, send back. In spite of that, you have been into many of the boards. So how it was possible for you and anyone who wants to be, what is your message to them?
Great question. Praveen, even nowadays, many times I see when I'm going into a South Side county meeting, or I mostly see the African American gatherings. I'm the only Indian, right? And sometimes in the north part of the county or the city, when I'm going into any meetings or gatherings, it's mostly the Caucasians, and I'm seeing the only Indian. So I've never been uncomfortable with that. I've always been comfortable under my own skin. This is who I am. I like wearing a sari. I'm going to wear a sari, right? But of course, I'm not going to challenge if there's a dress code. I'm going to follow that. I'm comfortable under my own skin. I'm comfortable with my name. I'm comfortable with who I am. I think once we reach that attitude, that I'm not going to fake anything for you. I'm going to be me. I'm going to smile. That's me. right? So they say like make sure that you keep the smile to change the world. Don't let the world change your smile, right? So I believe in that motto as well. Even in county government, when I was in the political arena, on the 10th floor is like highest political as it can get in the government. I was the only Indian. Okay. So you can understand the challenges, because sometimes they don't understand culturally. I'm not understanding them fully, but I can't keep away. You have to come to that common ground where you all come together in creating the goodness and all that. So first of all, I think people should, or from our back home, Praveen, everybody tells us, right? Stay away from mama. What does that mean? Police, right? Stay away from police and stay away from the government. I completely didn't stay away. I went into the government. I finished my local city police community training. So I did that. Whatever I was told, no, no, no. I took that step beyond to understand further. So I think people still, our people from back home still have that fear to stay away from the government. I would say to take that fear away slowly. Yes, sometimes, we hear about instances where there's racial profiling and all that, but it will happen across everywhere. It will happen across the world. Racial profiling is done in some way or the other, either for your name or how you look, things like that. So you have to come beyond that. I tell my children to go shake your hand. If someone is afraid to shake their hand with you, you extend your hand to them. Absolutely. That speaks highly about yourself. So that's what people need to do to get into the government, to go and introduce themselves.
And then again, thank you so much, Nazeera. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Take care.